Hey guys, it's Dina with DNA Training. Welcome to our second episode of DNA Talks. Today, I'm excited to introduce a new topic that we are going to be talking about nutrition, motherhood, and the journey to becoming fit. And I'm excited to introduce a new, or I guess our very first guest for DNA Talks, guys. Her story has inspired me. I have been following her for a few years now since she started her fitness journey. And I have been very inspired by everything she has done, not only physically, mentally, emotionally, but also for the community.
What if your next conversation could transform everything? Welcome to DNA Talks with Dina Morales. Real conversations about fitness, confidence, motherhood, discipline, and more. Dina Morales, founder of DNA Training, created a space for women to rebuild their strength from the inside out. Tune in Thursdays, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard on YouTube. DNA Talks. Real conversations. Real growth. Real you.
You cannot skip that part. You cannot skip nutrition, guys. It is the main key point that you should take when you want to become fit and you want to become stronger. So let's welcome our very first DNA Talk guest. Her name is Pamela. Welcome to DNA Talks.
Hi.
Hi. And thank you for being our very first guest on the show. This is a show inspired in women, and you are a woman that inspires not only myself but a lot of women in the community. So, tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do outside of fitness?
I am a mom of 3 and I'm happily married to my middle school sweetheart. We've been together for over 20 years and we own our family business here in Great Bend. We just do like truck accessories and window tint and pretty much anything to do with the vehicle. And we've been running that business for 15 years.
Wow, that's wonderful. That's amazing. And I hear that you do a lot for the community as well. And tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, we try. I mean, I am just basically the backbone to these fundraisers that we do. And they've just been really successful here in the Great Bend community. And so I just continue it. Whenever somebody's in need or something happens in the community, we just try to help out as much as we can, because as small business owners, we know a lot of people and we know a lot of businesses that we come together and we make things happen for people that are in need of, it could be funds, it could be anything really.
Good. That's amazing. Not a lot of people get together like that for just anybody. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. So tell us about your fitness journey. What got you into, I don't know, wanting to get healthy, I guess?
Well, we went to my brother's house in 2020 and we took a picture. And when I saw that picture, I was like, there's no way that's me. And I just remember saying, that was on a Sunday. And I remember saying, tomorrow I'm going to start going to the gym. And I didn't go. Like Monday came around and I was like, I'll start next Monday. Because, everybody says Monday. And I don't know what it is about Monday, because you can start any day. But I didn't start till the following Monday. And I just remember being in there and I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know why I was even there, but I didn't want to look that way anymore, I guess.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's a liable reason. Well, congratulations for starting on this journey. So what was the hardest part about starting?
Honestly, just getting there. Because once I was there, once I was at the gym, it was fine. But it was just like the motivation of actually going. And I think a lot of people, they'll have a goal and say, I'm going to start. And they really don't. And it's like I tell people now, I'm like, just get there. And once you get there, like it's just all falls into place. Like nobody's going to know everything at once. And I tell people, if you don't know, like ask. Everybody's there for the same reason. People always like, there's so many people, everybody's looking at me. And I'm like, everybody's there for the same reason. And I've tried to push a lot of people. A lot of my friends started, a lot of people that follow me, they always tell me it's because of you. And I post on social media all the time. I'm probably annoying, but I post on social media all the time. And I don't know, I have a big followers. That's why.
Well, you see what I mean? You're not only inspiring me, but other people, other women that, we need that. We need more women role models, I believe.
Yeah.
Not only in our community, but in the world. So thank you for being one in our community. And,
thank you.
And also, going back to the struggles, the biggest part, yes, it is getting there. It is, making up your mind that you're done looking this way, you're done feeling this way, and you want a change, like a true change. And the main point, I guess the first step is getting there. But besides getting there, what would you consider another struggle, when you started?
Well, I remember starting, and then I remember just going to the gym. I had went to the gym for 6 months, and I was just gymming, but I was coming home and eating what I wanted and drinking what I wanted. And yes, I saw a little bit of results, but it wasn't until January of 2021 when me and my friends, two of my friends, decided to do 75 hard. Well, on 75 hard, you have to follow rules, and one of those rules was, nutrition. You had to have a meal plan. And so when I started and I cut the drinking out for 75 days, I lost 28 pounds in 75 days. But there was no fast food, and it was tracking my meals. And I downloaded an app where it gave me my macros for the day. And so every week I was plugging in what my weight was. So then it was adjusting my macros as I was going. But I am a firm believer. If you do not track and you do not know what you put into your body, it's not going to happen.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
Exactly.
And I've fallen off the wagon. Like there's times I've been in it for 6 years, it's hard, we're Hispanics. And so I feel like our love language is food. You go to your mom's house, you go somewhere, like they're always trying to feed you. And if you say no, it's like, they take it offensive.
Like an insult. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have fallen off the wagon so many times, but I know where I've gotten. So I'm like, you know what? I need to get back in there. I need to start tracking. And I mean, it's just hard. It's just part of life, really. But
it is.
Man, when I started tracking and I started seeing the foods that I was actually eating, and I was overeating carbs and I wasn't getting enough protein, that's when it was like, holy moly, like I'm, not even eating enough protein. And yeah, I mean, if you don't track your food and you don't measure and you don't weigh your food, it's really hard to get to your goal. I mean, it's possible, but it's really hard to get to your goal. So now what I do is I kind of know, you kind of eyeball what you're going to eat and everything. So I kind of know what to eat. But I'm human, I fall off the wagon.
We all are, but that's one thing I do focus on: structure. You need to have a structure and a plan. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time. Like, I'm very big on nutrition. You don't have to go all crazy. As long as you have your proteins in there, your fats, your greens, as long as you have your macros in there, you're good. Like you said, measure everything, or just know that you're not overeating,
Mm-hmm.
But as long as you have a structure and a plan, you will always have results. And you are proof for that.
And I think the best, what am I trying to say? Like, my kids follow what we do, they see what you do. So for 2 years, my husband was still eating and doing what he wanted. Well, now, like, we just went to Dylan's and he turns, the protein bar around. He's like, he's starting to read the labels. Well, 3 years ago, he wasn't like that. And my
Right.
kids, they're, we try to just eat whole foods. I
Right.
mean,
Yes.
but every time somebody asks me, like, what is the number one, if you go to the gym and you come home and you eat whatever you want, you are not going to see results. Like, you
Yes.
have to know what you're putting into your body.
Imagine booking a soul session, ordering crystals, and joining a live retreat from your phone. For too long, finding the right healers, the right products, the right community has meant endless searching across scattered corners of the internet. That changes now. The Sacred Kingdom has arrived, an online hub where a worldwide directory of holistic practitioners, readers, life guides, organic makers, musicians, a crystal shop, books, and more are all waiting for you. Book one-on-one sessions, order products, and discover Kingdom members serving locally in your area, all from your fingertips, wherever you are, whenever you're ready. Stay connected to upcoming events and retreats, both online and in person. Tap into a YouTube channel built for real conversation, hands-on holistic learning, and free giveaways. And there's more coming: courses, programs, a holistic recipe book, and the Sacred Kingdom Mystery School Academy mentorship. This is a space built on love, compassion, and the belief that conscious living should be accessible to all walks of life. Visit thesacredkingdom.com, and if you feel called to build from within, email Marcus Crystallite at marcustut23@gmail.com about joining the Kingdom Council. The
You just
kingdom is
wasted
open.
your time. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, you could spend
Unless
three
you're just
hours.
planning to just, kind of like, I'm not gaining weight, I'm not losing weight, like, that's fine. But if you really want to see results, you really got to know what you're putting into your body. And prioritize protein. I feel like if you're getting your
Exactly.
protein in, like, that's going to fill you up for longer. And it is,
Yes.
I go to the restaurants now, and you try to get something healthier than French fries. You get cottage cheese or whatever. People look at me kind of weird, but it is what it is. But
But you're just trying to stay healthy. And, and once you gain that knowledge, because now you don't really have to use that app anymore, because you now know what to put in your body. And like you
Mhm.
said, protein will always be the number one priority, because it will fill you up. You will feel
Mhm.
fuller throughout the day. And not only that, I mean, it helps you gain muscle as well.
Mhm. Yeah.
So you mentioned you had that support system, your two friends.
Yes.
uh I mean, do you believe that helped you stick around, or I guess accomplish those goals?
Oh yes, absolutely. Like, without them, like, I would not be where I am today. Because, like, there was mornings that I didn't want to go to the gym, and they're like, "Get over here." Or we were sharing our pictures with each other and our meal plans. And so when we did 75 hard, we did it together. Like, we started the same day, finished the same day with me. Like, it definitely helped. And I've told them, like, I always call them my coaches. They weren't my coaches, but to me, if it wasn't for them and their knowledge that they shared with me, yeah, I would not be where I am today.
Right. And I do agree. Having that support system helps a lot, because, like you said, sometimes you really don't feel like it. Like, you don't
Yeah.
feel like working out. You don't feel like it. And when you do have that support system that is basically holding you accountable, you kind of have to,
Hmm.
because you're
Hmm.
like, they expect me to do this. So,
Yeah.
I always encourage people to have someone. It doesn't have to be really someone that goes to work out with you. It's just
Hmm.
being someone that holds you accountable for what you're doing, what you're not doing.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
because
that
now,
that
like, we all have our lives, and so our schedules don't match up. But my husband is the one that is really, like, he's the one that goes to the gym now, and so he goes in the morning. I go in a little bit later, but we hold each other accountable. And so my daughter, she goes to the gym 6 times a week, and we all just kind of do the
wow.
same thing. And, like, she gets off of work here at 6 o'clock, and she doesn't even come home. She goes straight to the gym. Like, she's like, you just have to have it in your routine. You have to have
Yes.
it. It's just part of life. Like, yes, I can fall off the wagon, but you just know that you need to get back on, because if you wait too long, it's really hard.
Yeah, it's gonna
Mhm.
catch up to you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I always use the analogy. It's like you come into a house and you have a little mess, there. It's like, okay, it's fine. I'll pick it up later. and then you go on about your day, and then pile on more mess and more mess and more
Mhm.
mess. Next thing you know, I mean, you have a full house of mess, and
Yep.
then it's gonna take you longer to clean it up. You're probably not even gonna want to, might as well just
Yeah.
leave it because it's there
Hmm.
already. So, I
Yeah,
always
and
use
then
that analogy.
yeah, and I don't know like why people always say I'm gonna start on Monday or I'm gonna start January 1st. And I always tell people like you can start any day. Like it
Right.
doesn't matter. Cause
Yes.
sometimes I'll be messaging people and they're like, I'll start Monday. And I'm like, why wait till Monday? Like it's literally Wednesday. You can get these 4 days in, but
Today.
I don't know, like yeah, it's really hard. It's really hard to start, but once you're there and you have that love for what you see in the mirror and just the results that people get, it's just like it's almost an
Right.
addiction.
So would you agree that seeing the results is also what keeps you motivated to keep
Oh,
going?
absolutely. Like when I lost that weight, I probably took 5 years off of me. Like I looked older when I was 30 than I do now. And so
Yeah.
people tell me all the time, and I'm like, dang, if I would have known what I know now if I was 25, like I would have just, I don't know. So I tell the younger people, like, don't wait, get in there,
Right.
like,
Right.
and it's
Yes.
not gonna happen overnight. So
Right. Right. So when you were changing your habits, your eating habits, did you struggle with like emotional eating?
not really. I mean, my biggest problem was the drinking. Like I've always been a big drinker, and it's not, like tequila or anything. It's beer, which is the worst for me. So
Yeah.
I don't think, it's just I don't know, like I would always turn to beer, like, and so now I mean I still drink, but I know like when to stop,
Right.
and so and then if I start bloating, then I'm like, all right, I need to get my stuff together, and so
Right.
yeah.
Right. And
But
and that's another thing, that is really knowing what you put in your body and the way you feel when you put whatever it is in your body, like alcohol. We don't think, oh, we're just gonna go party for a weekend or for a day, and then next thing you know, you gain 5 pounds just from that one
Mhm.
day or the weekend. So
Yeah, and
yeah.
I remember when I first started, and my friends they were like, Pamela, you really need to quit the alcohol. Like you would see so much results, and I would in my head I was like,
Yeah.
what does that have to do with this? And as
Right.
soon as we did 75 hard, and I did it for 75 days, I was like, holy crap! Like it really does make a difference in your
A big.
fitness journey. You
Yeah.
don't feel puffy in your face. You don't. I don't know. It was just like a different. Like if I would have never done that, I don't think I would have realize. So now, if I see myself gaining a little bit of weight, then I back off. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but
You probably.
to see your pictures, like seeing your pictures, like even from a month apart, from
Oh.
drinking alcohol and not drinking, from that month not drinking, is crazy. Like the
Mhm.
results and just the before and after, and I mean, if you didn't take those pictures, you wouldn't believe it.
Right.
Definitely, you
Right.
wouldn't believe it. So, how would you say nutrition helped you change your mindset?
Um, I don't. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm always been pretty good, but mentally, like, I definitely feel like it definitely helped me mentally.
Men-
Like it, yes, like it helped me mentally. Like it was just a place. The gym was a place to just be myself, and I wasn't
Right.
in competition with nobody, and it was just like that's what I wanted, and I thrive for that. Like I want to go to the gym every day and spend my hour and a half by myself. It's just me now. I don't have
Right.
my friends going with me, and I love it, and it's like you do an hour and a half, and it's like, okay, now I'm ready to start my day,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
changing my mindset, I think, it definitely I definitely see life different, and I definitely see things differently. I don't know, like I really don't
I
know.
don't think people understand how much alcohol quietly wrecks progress. Everybody loves a drink, but your body pays the price. Here's the harsh truth. Alcohol is calorie dense, 7 calories per gram. Your body burns booze first, so fat burning stalls. It spikes appetite and lowers willpower, so late night snacking becomes inevitable. Alcohol messes with sleep and hormones, hurting muscle recovery and metabolism. It causes liver fat, bloating, water retention, and can drive insulin resistance over time. Bottom line, regular drinking makes losing weight harder, even if you eat healthy. Want results? Cut back, choose lower calorie options, keep alcohol occasional. Your
Don't
body will
know.
thank you.
As far as, well, I mean, you just said, you now know that not drinking so much will give you the results you want, or not
Right.
eating so much will give you the results you want. As to
Mhm.
before, like you said, you didn't think the drinking would make a big difference when it did. Once you change your mindset and you were like, okay, I'm gonna give in for 75 days, and then you saw the results, right?
Mhm.
So that's what I always tell my ladies. Just sacrifice for a month. Sacrifice. I mean, say
And
no
see
to
what your
things.
body can do.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, because I feel like some people, they want the results fast, but it's like you didn't put that weight on in 3 days. And
Exactly.
so it's
Yes.
like give it a little bit. But I think once they start seeing results, then it's like, oh, they love it, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna continue. Because I'm gonna tell you a little story. So I don't know if you know, you probably do, but I did 75 hard in 2021. So the end of December, I got a tummy tuck.
Mm.
So I got a tummy tuck, and March came around, and I was like, you know what? I don't really need to go to the gym. Like, I already did what I needed to do. So I
Uh-huh.
didn't go to the gym, and I was eating what I wanted, drinking what I wanted. The summer came around, like barbecuing, just drinking crazy. I literally gained 40 pounds in like 6 months,
Yes.
and I was like, there's no way that I am going to like
Yeah.
let
No.
myself go backwards. And so
Yes.
that was another proof to me that nutrition plays a big role, because it
Yes.
was
You
it
know.
wasn't like people think, oh, it's an easy fix. No, it's not. You
Oh.
still got to put the work in.
Yes.
And
And
it was bad, because I'm telling you, like I gained like 40 pounds, like more than what I had lost. And then I
well.
was just like, what am I doing? And so I was like, I didn't do all of that for nothing. And so then I started weighing my food again, and
Yes.
doing all
Yes.
of that. But people think, like, oh, I'm gonna go do this and it's gonna be for life. No, like I'm a proof right there. Like I gained 40
Yes.
pounds after my tummy tuck, and it was
Yes.
crazy, because I thought, oh, nothing's gonna happen. Just slowly,
Right.
like
Right.
within 4 to 5 months. I didn't see it
Right.
right away, but then I looked at pictures and I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah, and then my husband was just like, like we didn't do all of this for this, and so then I
And then
started
you.
tracking. I started tracking again and weighing my food and eating my protein, drinking my water, going to the gym, and it was just like that's all it
Yeah.
takes.
Yep. And thank you for sharing that story, because I always say that it doesn't matter if you get how many tummy tucks you get. If your habits don't change,
Hmm.
nothing will. Like nothing. That you're proof of that.
Oh yeah.
When you start doing what matters, what really matters, and you really want to become healthy or have a change, then the proof comes, which is the results.
Hmm.
And what matters is your nutrition. That's all that
Yeah.
matters. Bottom line, you cannot skip that.
Yeah, because
And that's.
anybody can go to the gym, but if you come home and eat
Yes.
what you want and drink
Mhm.
what you want, like it's
And
not gonna
physically,
happen.
yeah, and physically, I've always said that physically anybody can get in the gym and do a squat. Like
Hmm.
anybody can. That's not hard. That's not the hard part. The
That
hard
is.
part is the mental part, when it comes to your brain, when it comes to your mental, and when it comes to your own body telling you need the sugar, you need the carbs, you need this. Well, carbs are not bad for you, but when they're empty carbs, yes, they are.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
when you're able to control your mind, and that's what really matters. And that's, I believe that's how your mindset changes,
Yeah. Yeah.
when
I
it
mean,
comes to nutrition.
yeah, I agree. Because sometimes people would tell me like, "Oh, I can't have carbs. I'm just gonna eat protein." I'm like, you still need like, you hear a lot of myths, and so it's like you still need carbs. They have to be healthy carbs, but and
Yes.
you don't want to eat a bread and then waste all your carbs. I mean,
Right.
you kind of gotta be a little bit smart, and I feel like that's the biggest downfall is, people don't want to take the time of,
Right.
even reading the labels and seeing what's even in these foods. Like, they're just like, oh, it says it has 20 grams of protein, it must be healthy. Yeah, but it has 57 carbs. Like, it's not
Yes.
really,
Right.
I don't
Right.
know. I feel like when people ask me, it's really hard to explain because I already know.
Yeah.
And I feel like, they're just going to go home and they're just going to see protein, but they don't realize that it has 480 calories and it might have 57 carbs. Well, it's
Right.
not really healthy. I don't know. Like, it depends. It also depends what your macros are, I think. But
No,
I think
exactly.
people I think people really need to focus on nutrition because, like I said, anybody can go to the gym. But once they
Yes.
start going to the gym and actually realizing what they're putting in their body, they will get results.
And another thing is, yeah, you get results because anybody who stops eating crap will get results. But then we really go down to your health. What is really going on inside your body when you're putting all this crap inside you. We have colon cancer, we have diabetes, we have all those diseases that come on with food, like by our eating habits. So that's another thing that people need to consider. Not just looking good. Looking good is great, but it's like,
Looking good's the bonus.
yeah, how do I feel? What's my inside look
Yeah.
like? What does my body look like inside? So another thing for those of our viewers that don't know or are struggling with tracking their macros, or just finding a way to track their food, what is that one app that you used?
The app that I used at that time was First Form. I used First Form because I was using their greens, and so I just downloaded. I didn't even really pay for it. I think it was like maybe $9.99 a year or something. But yeah, I mean, it was, you just plug in your weight and what you want to weigh, and then it just basically calculates your macros for you. And so I really enjoyed that app because it was easy. You just had to scan and it would put all this stuff in, and so you kind of knew what else you needed to eat throughout the day. But
okay, that's simple enough. A lot of people don't want to take the time to do that either. But I think it would be helpful for people, for those who do want the help, and those who really want the change. But so thank you for sharing that. I've never tracked my food. I just I go by carbs, by grams, and all of that, and by servings. I feel like I've done a pretty good job doing that. But another thing that I would like to ask, as a businesswoman, as a mother of three, because you do have three kids, correct?
yes.
So how did that interfere with your fitness, like getting to the gym, or did it interfere at all? Or was there a time where you felt like you really had to make a choice between being at work or with your children or going to the gym?
To be honest with you, my husband has been supportive throughout the whole 6 years. And so he just said, if you clock in at 10, you clock in at 10, And so I go to the gym from 8 to 9:30 every day, Monday through Friday. And so he just knows that I show up at 10. Like, there's no,
Okay.
it's like you just got to use it as a job. Like, it's part
Right.
of, you just got to get in there. Like, you
That's
just,
a
and
lifestyle.
if you do
Yeah.
not, yes. And if you do not make it to the gym, like, go for a walk or go do something, move your body.
Move
You don't
your body.
necessarily have to go to the gym, but move your body, and,
stay active.
yeah, no, my kids have been, yeah, and they see it, like, everybody watches you, they say they don't, but everybody
Exactly.
watches you. So
Yes, they
I
do.
have a lot of followers, and you're just like, okay, like, I try to tell you guys to come join me, or, I'll see you at the gym, but they don't want to. I don't know. I think they're just scared, they're scared of.
But if you invite them out to drink, they'll be
Yeah.
they'll be the best thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
But all we have to do is keep leading by example, and one of these days, somebody's going to listen to you, to your advice and all of that, and I'm pretty sure people have already listened to your advice and everything, and they've had some sort of change, right?
Yeah.
Your friends, I mean, anybody, and it feels great to be part of somebody's change. It feels
Yeah.
great to
Or like
be.
I just get some random texts, and it could be my family members or my friends. They're like, "Hey, I'm going off for a walk," and I always put a smiley face. I'm like, "Good for you." I think they just like, want that reassurance that it's like, you can start at any time. You
Right.
can. It doesn't have to be a Monday. It doesn't have to be January 1st. You can start at any time. We're
Yes.
not getting younger, so
No. No, we're not. So, thank you for sharing your story and for sharing this time with us. I'd like to close up this episode, and it's been amazing sharing a little bit with you and about your journey. There's some things that I didn't know about, but thank you for sharing that. And also, I want to thank you for being part of our community and for being a good example for women, not only our community, but for women. And as you explained, just getting in the gym, being fit and living a healthy lifestyle has trickled down to your family as well, your children, your family. So I really appreciate that, because being a good example for the children, for people, is one thing, but for the children, for your own children, is another thing. So thank you for being an example also for your children. And
yeah, no.
so what would be one closing statement you would like to give our viewers tonight?
Hmm, that's a good one. I guess is nobody's gonna do the work for you. You got to show up for yourself, because
Love that.
I'm a firm believer. Like, nobody's gonna put in that work for you. So
Love
if you
that.
don't put in that work and that effort, then you're not gonna get any results. Um,
Yes, I love
and
that.
and don't compare yourself with anybody. Like, you're your own self, and just love yourself. And yeah, but I also want to thank you, Dina, because you're on my social media. I follow you throughout all the social media platforms, and I love seeing you helping everybody in all ages, everybody. And you're there 5 o'clock in the morning, at noon, 7 o'clock in the afternoon, and people need to take advantage of that, because you don't
Yes.
get that. And it's like they might be embarrassed to show up, but once you're there and you see results, it's totally worth it. Like,
Yes.
I don't know, but yeah, if you have, you guys go to Dina, give it a
Thank
shot,
you. Thank you. And I try to create a friendly environment. You come here, you're gonna have fun.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah, no,
Give
I
it.
know you've
We're
invited me, but I need to show up one day. I need to just show up
Yeah,
and
yeah,
see,
yeah.
because
I mean,
I like learning from other people. So, maybe I'm doing something wrong, or you're gonna help you can help me, if I
yes,
want to get, better results. But
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah, we can all learn from each other. But
yeah, and that's
yes, I
that's the
mean,
thing. It's we're all in it together,
exactly.
and
Yes,
so
yes.
maybe something that I don't know, and something that I know you didn't, and so I feel like just showing up for yourself, and just being competitive, because you got to be competitive a little bit too, to
Yes.
be able to get a little bit of more results. But I do think women need to just show up for themselves, basically.
Exactly. You already show up for everybody else. I always tell
Yeah,
them from the moment we get up, we show up for everybody else. So it's only fair to show up for yourself, every day for at least an hour, right?
that's what I say. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being here. And like I said, it was a pleasure talking to you and having you as our first guest at DNA Talks. And I look
Yeah.
forward to more collaborations with you. Maybe we can do a workout together, something together. I would
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on here, Dina.
Thank you. And you have a wonderful evening. We'll
You
talk
too.
soon. Thank you.
Bye.
Well, guys, thank you for this wonderful time with our guest tonight, Pamela. She, like you heard, she's been a leader and I guess I would say, man, I've lost my words. Pam, you've met Pamela. She's been a leader and a true role model for women here around the community and all over. So thank you for joining us tonight. And you guys stay tuned for our next episode next Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll see you soon. Thank you.